for a job. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So,
well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this project it shouldn't take too much of your time. Basically, Ryan Berger, he's the creator of Old School Gamer magazine. He's coming out with a book this April. He's going to present it at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and it's basically a book on kind of hints and tips of retro video games, not just consoles but arcades as well. And he wants it, told by the people who are just the masters of the game, people who have records, people who have played it for all those years. And obviously, Donkey Kong, we think of you, so we wanted your take on it.
I'm flattered. Thanks for asking.
No,
I was gonna do it myself, but I didn't have the time to. Put screenshots together. You just can't just put this together in 1 minute. So
absolutely, no. We've done a lot of these video interviews. It works out well. I just transcribe it and make sure your words are in the book.
Okay.
So what I could do it two ways. What I did is I came up with tricks that I know of and I've researched on, and you can tell me your opinion on how you use the tricks or how you do them. And if I miss any, you can give me some tricks that maybe some people don't know in Donkey Kong. So let's go that way.
Sounds good.
All right. So the first one I have is barrel manipulation. How you can control the barrels. What's your secret and your tip to do that?
Yeah. So starting on the first level, it doesn't really, the probability of controlling them is lower, but after level 4 and even level 2 and 3, there's a little bit of it, but level 4 and on, it depends on if you're trying to point press or if you're just trying to clear the screen. If you're just trying to clear the screen, I just shoot right up the ladder on the far right, dart to the next ladder on the second girder, go up, and maybe even on the ladder I might do a quick right joystick input and steer some barrels down to the right side of the screen.
Cool.
And then go up, and you almost can get up there with no interference. If you're thinking above, you can steer them when they're way ahead up above you. They're not just have to be like one level ahead of you.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Okay.
So as I'm going up, if I'm just trying to clear a screen really fast, once I get up to the girder right below the girder that has the left hammer, I just do a quick right or a couple jerks to the right and try to shoot a couple down, go across. You just have to watch. Donkey Kong will lob a barrel at you.
Right.
And then in the very first levels, he actually throws them pretty hard. And if you're not in the right spot on the right side of the screen, you're going to be hard to get away from them. But later on, they just are more of a floating they kind of bounce like in little stages.
Oh,
you played the game. You played it enough, right, to know the behavior?
Yeah, and I'm still bad at the tricks. I watch you, I watch Billy, I watch all the world record holders, and I still can't secure the stuff that you guys do because you guys are just so good.
We just done it for so long. It's like breathing. So yeah,
I know.
I go up, and then when I get to when I'm below the hammer, you just got to be careful that you don't go up when Donkey Kong's in the middle of a roll. He might drop it, or and then you get hit when you're climbing the ladder. So you just got to be cautious there. But you should never die on a barrel board if you're just steering them out of your way.
And you're saying it's easier after level 4 or the fourth?
Level 4, after the fourth level.
Okay.
There's no heat-seeking missiles at you. There's more tumbling. They're tumbling, and they'll hit you if you're moving at them. But I find that if you're just if he throws one down right when you're right on the bottom right hammer, you can be standing there and he'll lob one down, and it won't hit you unless you move to the left. You'll kind of it's kind of trying to pin you or into a corner kind of.
Sure.
You can jump it and get 100 points if you know the trick where you jump and move the joystick to the right.
Right.
That's the way of leeching points. But if you're trying to maximize points, what I found way back in the day, I don't know if this was ever talked much, but the bottom hammer, when I first thought of doing that, no one thought we could get 1,000,000 points.
Right.
I don't know if you were aware of that. There's people like they'll never get a million.
No, I
But
wasn't aware.
yeah, so I mean, they thought it was all random number generator. Like you get a million if every blue barrel you hit got 800
Right.
or something crazy, which would never happen.
Right.
So if you're going to get a million, I found you get the bottom right hammer, which is obviously the technique that all the heavyweights do now, like Robbie Lakeman and
Oh, right.
John McCurt. That they've adopted that. It's the only way to get. You can get a million without doing it, but you'd have to do other point pressing.
Sure.
But that's the way that you maximize the barrels by doing the bottom hammer. But if you're not trying to get the world record, you
Right.
don't grab the bottom hammer.
You stay away from that.
Because it took me a while to get that down, because what happens when you're down there hammering them, then the hammer disappears, and you have to be sure that you're in a situation where you can jump. You're not in this pickle where there's like two barrel, or there's like a unjumpable sequence of barrels. So that's where the controlling the barrels, funneling them down, where I'm talking about you can steer them when they're way up above you. I'm just totally going back and forth trying to get all the barrels down that center ladder where I can hit them. So if you watch the games of my, when I'm using the bottom hammer, you'll see that I'm staying near that middle ladder.
Okay.
And I'm just going left and right, looking above and seeing how can I get the next barrel down the quickest. And then if you do it correctly, you'll have hit basically the last hammer strike will hit a barrel, and there'll be nothing around you that would, you'll be in a safe spot. The only problem sometimes that fireball has an uncanny way of coming up right when it's starting to expire.
Exactly.
The programmers knew exactly when to start bringing it up, so that can happen. But you can get out. I have to just get quickly out of its way. It rarely gets me, but that's always a threat, though.
Yeah, that's the one that always gets me, is that fireball. I think I have something going, and then the fire comes up and gets me.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a really good answer. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
How about like timer manipulation with the points and the timing, like what the timer hits? Like certain levels, you kind of go faster than others, right? For points. Based on the timer score, like when the timer hits bonus, points.
Are you talking about how many bonus points you get on a level?
Yeah, because some levels I notice you guys will just kind of run up to get the bonus points and clear the level, but others you'll stay back and the points will get, or the timer will get down to 0, and then you just kind of point,
that's where, well, there's two screens where you'll do that. It's on the barrel board when you're trying to, maximize your points. You'll, in addition to the bottom hammer, I started doing, and then the guys after me really maximized it, is you go up on, when you're underneath Donkey Kong, there's the two ladders. There's the far left one, and there's the middle one, or not the middle, but the one to the right. And you go up one of those, and then you try to group. There's a barrel that Donkey Kong's releasing, and there's another barrel rolling on the ramp you're on, and you try to group them in groups of 2. That way you get 300 points.
Right.
Because each barrel is released with 100. Like if you just jumped a barrel one at a time, you're just breaking even, because each barrel is released at a bonus timer of 100 points. From the bonus timer goes down as each barrel is released.
Oh.
So if you miss, if he throws a barrel, you lost 100 points. That's what you don't want to have him have if you can't jump it.
Wow. I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah. So you group them, then you earn your extra 100 ahead. And then what we did was you started looping. You jump them, and then you go down the ladder and jump them again.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's
kind of the recycling. So that's the way you can get another 300 for the same jump sequence. So And
Yeah.
then there's other ways to even group them with 3 barrels. And then
Oh,
Robbie, if you watch Robbie Lakeman, those guys have all these, they recognize different grouping.
hmm
Like they've totally played to beyond a level that I was playing at. But I
yeah,
understand the grouping concept, but they took
sure.
it to a higher level.
Yeah.
But that's the funny thing is if you group 3 of them together, it says you get 800 points, but it's actually only 500.
Oh, really?
It
The
is,
score
yeah.
says
So
500.
it
Oh,
says 800 on the screen, like when it jumps, it
yeah.
prints 800, but the score on your actual score will just go up by 500. I never knew that until like it's been 20 years I've known it, but I didn't know that when I was playing it back in the arcade days.
I did not know that, and I might even mention that because that's something most people probably don't know. When they get 800, they just expect the 800 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, very cool. Let's see what else I have here. There's the rivet stage grouping strategy. Um,
I haven't heard
that's
of that one.
yeah, so that one. So my notes basically, what do I got for that one? Um, on the rivet boards, you leave the top rivets for the last. Um,
Yeah.
and then removing a rivet shortens the platform, which changes the movement, I guess. Maybe that, I don't know, maybe my notes are wrong on that one.
I've
Um,
never heard that. I try to get the well, I've always called it the ziggurat because it was called that in this little book that I got, How to Win at Donkey Kong.
I got
So
that book. That's from I saw it in the King of
yeah,
Kong. You
from
showed it.
yeah, it's the King of Kong I have.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to the left and try to clear all the left rivets off, and then
Mm,
you you leave the one rivet where the hammer is on the left because you
right.
want to be able to walk across that. So you skip that one, but then you grab the hammer and then you go across and try to hammer, killing them. So when they regenerate, they're now trapped on the
They're
left.
trapped. Right.
Um, and then you just finish the right hand side of the board. As you know, you just have to develop strategies. Like there's no exact pattern. You have to read and react to what the fireballs are doing. Sometimes you'll only have 1 or 2 to get around, and it's not very tough. But sometimes you
Right.
only get 1, or don't even kill any of them. There are 5 of them sitting there. You have to deal with them. But then,
It
yeah.
is annoying.
So ideally, you would hopefully get to a point where you get them all cleared off and they're all stuck on the left. Then you can do the Kong points, I call them, when you're by
Oh,
Donkey Kong at the top.
you just jump and jump and jump.
Yeah, jump. And in the earlier boards, you can get like 2 or 3 jumps off per bonus. So you can almost 2.5 times the bonus. Like say there was 3,000 points
Sure.
when you got up there for the bonus, you can get like 7,000 points instead of just clearing the board for 3. You can get almost 2.5 times.
Wow.
But later on, yeah, then you can even jump 3. I think I do 3 jumps after the bonus goes to 0. You do 3 or 2, maybe 2, just to be safe. Then so you can get an extra 200 when the bonus reads 0, and then clear the last rivet. But
That's a question I've always wondered is, couldn't you just, when the square hits 0, just jump forever? Or is there a time where you die? Like, can't you just jump and get points forever? Or why do you, because the
so
timer's at 0.
timer's at 0, you get like 3 seconds or
Oh,
so. After it's 0, it's gonna kill you.
oh, it does kill you. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
I've always wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't they just keep jumping forever? Cool. Let's see. This one is the ladder fake out. You start to climb, but then you don't. And you step away and the fireballs react differently, or the barrels. Is that a trick that you know of?
That might be something like Robbie Lakeman was
I've seen
developed.
that, yeah, with his.
Yeah, those guys were studying it. Some people even had all the code and were, they started learning what how the things were programmed.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how that works, but I do know they have a freezer fireball that will basically, I don't know if that's in your notes, but they recognize those fireballs that like on the barrel board some of them will they kind of go up and they freeze. They might move around and jump and kind of freeze, and then they move to this point and freeze. So when Robbie and those guys see that, they're just licking their chops because they know when they get to that on that top tier, they can just sit at a point, you know, and jump some barrels. And then when that freezer, they call them freezers, is sitting there,
Oh,
they'll just get 100 points here, like just pepper that thing for a few hundred at a time, and then
oh wow.
and they'll leech points all the way till the bonus goes to, as long as another fireball doesn't get in their way. But and then what can happen is you sit there where if a barrel happens to be going past right where you're, you know, you kind of park yourself right on the edge where that freezer won't get you.
Yep.
And then a barrel will come by and you can jump the freezer and the barrel and get 300. So it's like you're totally leeching points there. So that's how they it does, you know, I don't know how they create that situation. That there may be a way of creating it, but when they see it developing, they'll take full advantage of it. I never was taking advantage. At that point, I was out of the Donkey Kong chase. I'd kind of retired, but
Yeah. That's fine.
yeah,
No, I'm amazed at each generation that comes through and plays that game. They're somehow getting more points than back in the day, and
yeah,
it's tricks like that you just don't know about. It's amazing.
yeah, it definitely. It's a pretty deep game for being so simple. It's got, you know, for having these tricks being found out 50 years later or whatever it is.
It's crazy. It's crazy. No, so I just have one more, and then we can go into, you know, some time with ones that you kind of think that I didn't mention and stuff. But the how do you perfect the timing of it? It's basically that pixel perfect jump when you jump and then jump backwards, or you jump off the ledge and then you jump back. You know how
when you rebound?
Rebound. Yes.
Oh, I guess
how is that done?
I don't use it as much, only when I'm stuck on a rivets board. Like if you're cornered and there's no way out. I typically try to do something else besides that. I try to I'll explain it later, but the rebound is just like I guess you have to jump in the right location off the edge.
It's tricky.
If you're too far away from the edge, you'll fall all the way down. But if you're in a certain range, it's not like the tolerance is 0, but you have a certain range where when you jump, you'll go back and spring back to where you were.
Yeah, I see it a lot by Donkey Kong players doing it a lot, and I'm like, I can't perfect that.
And when Robbie and those guys are doing that jumping where you're at the top and they're kind of circling around, sometimes there'll be a configuration coming down from Donkey Kong rolling, or kind of the rolling barrel that I could talked about coming at your way, and then the Donkey Kong, one of the barrels will come down the ladder, and there'll be like 3 barrels that are next to each other, and then a space and another barrel. Like it's like, I thought you maybe could do a long jump over them, but what Robbie and those guys will do, they'll dart over to the left, and where the hammer used to be, they'll do that little jump off the wall, and those barrels will pass them. So they use that as a defense to get out of trouble.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's hear what you got. If you got anything you want to share.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of the other screens. We haven't talked about the pies much. I basically just do a single jump right when the board appears, and that buys the time for the fireballs to come out of that oil can.
Right.
Because you start a little bit on the left center of the board, so they come out of the oil can on the side that you're on. So you don't want to. If you go to the right too fast, then some will go to the right, and then they might get in your way when you're trying to go up. So they call it the Wiebe freebie is Wiebe. That's what Robbie Lakeman joked with, because they were at the stage where they're trying to get the hammer and hammer all the pie factories, and then you can really crush the points if you have enough pies and everything happens your way there. So that's how they are getting their really high scores, that they try to get the hammer and not just race up to the top. But the freebie Wiebe or Wiebe freebie is, you jump once and then you go to the right, go up the ladder, zip on the little conveyor belt for just a little, this is not too much, and then you get up the next ladder, jump across the span that's a little bigger than a barrel. It's like a barrel and a half. And then if all the fireballs are on the left or stayed on the left, then you might have a free shot just straight up the ladder on the collapsing ladder. So that if you can do that, the board's literally over in like 5 seconds or maybe 7 seconds. I don't know how long.
Right.
And then your bonus timer is way up there. But so I always thought, hey, I'll take the 8,000, whatever the number bonus points you get, 8,000, 8,200. But if you try to get the hammer and stuff, you might get 10 to 12,000 on that board. So it's worth. But sometimes you get the hammer, you don't hit any pies. Now the bonus is ticked down, and now you're in
stuck
trouble.
on the belt.
Yeah, then you're stuck on the belt, and then all the fireballs are around you, and you're maybe having to go back to the very bottom trying to get away around them. So you might lose points by doing that. But at that level of play, though, it's like they don't care. It's all or nothing. They just restart the game if they have a bad barrel or a bad board or two.
Yeah. Yeah, that level's tough. That's the tricky level.
Yeah.
That one I die in a lot. Yeah.
And then we already talked the rivets, where I just do that ziggurat pattern that's in that Donkey Kong book I mentioned. It's pretty tried and true. I just, even when it doesn't look like it's gonna work, I just fight it, because like I just go, I'm doing this, guys, get out of my way. I just keep going and just, because if I mean, there's people that do the no hammer challenge have different techniques to survive the rib. Have you heard of the no hammer challenge? Like they do a donkey.
Without the hammers? Yeah.
They do a score without the hammers. And I think they must, I think they probably got to the kill screen, but I could see.
Oh, wow.
The hammers are only one, the rivets are the only board that, you absolutely, I feel like is as mandatory to survive, but people have learned techniques without the hammer to get, they study the behaviors of the fireballs. They must know more about their behavior and can read them better. But I never tried the no hammer challenge. It just, because I wanted to get the world record on the regular settings, like I wasn't into the little one-offs.
The special ones, yeah.
Yeah, but those are cool though. But so I just do that ziggurat and I just fight it. Even if it doesn't look like it's going to work, I go, I'm doing this. But sometimes you are forced to ad lib it, and I'll have to do it. But for the most part, that ziggurat pattern works for the rivets. Nice. And then the donkey, the elevators, third elevators. You already know. Do you want me to explain it again, or do you already have all that?
You can go ahead. Yeah, explain it.
I guess so. Yeah. So well, I usually don't get any of the prizes because I wasn't trying to get like the theoretical maximum points when I was going for the world record. I was jumping onto the first platform. When you come onto the elevators, there's the first string of elevators. You just jump right away.
Yep.
And then there is a prize that's on that little rectangular section. That's the first, where there's a fireball that kind of runs around in a rectangle. And if you're gutsy enough, you just go right and grab that. I think that might be the hat or the purse. I can't remember. I think it's the hat.
The hat, yeah.
Yeah. And then you get that and jump right back off and then go up, but sometimes at those higher level elevators, that fireball, if it comes down and you're in the middle of jumping to get the hat, you're going to just intersect it and you're going to get hit. So it's really you got to be careful if you're going for that hat. So you have to be looking at that fireball, making sure it's not in the spot where it's going to drop. And sometimes you might just take your chances. Like, I'm just going for it. I don't care if I die. I'm just going to try to get the maximum points as possible. But if I don't do that, I just ride that first elevator up. Okay. And then if that fireball's sitting at the top of the rectangle, I'm going to have to jump off to the left, the very top.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, just to wait. And then what I do is I One of the things with fireballs is if you're below them, they'll, um, if you're above them, they're not going to go below. They're not going to go lower than you.
Oh,
If I believe that's true. Um,
okay.
but if you're below like when that fireball's sitting up in that rectangle,
Yep.
and I'm on the left, I'll just like lower my foot a couple rungs down and try to lure the fireball down, and then I'll jump
And then you
across.
jump. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that will entice it. If you're below it, it'll trend to go down. I believe that's what the software, the program tells it to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's cool.
and
Yeah.
then I do the long jump across the.
Oh, yeah.
So you get on the next elevator ride, and then from there you do that long jump. And there's what's been done to save actually a couple hundred points. There's a top shelf, and there's the bottom shelf's easier to get. There's less tolerance, or there's more tolerance, more room for air on the bottom shelf.
Right.
But the top shelf, your timing has to be pretty precise. Otherwise, if you go too late, you'll miss it. If you go too early, can't remember what happened. I think you hit if you go too early, I can't remember you got to hit it the right spot to hit the top shelf. That's what Robbie and those guys were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I don't do the top shelf when I was going for world records. It's more safe to do the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I never grabbed the purse at the top right, where there's the springs.
Mm-hmm.
There's
on far right. Yeah.
Yeah. But those guys are masters where they leech every time they jump across the springs. They get 100 points from a spring. They do the little jump and right air, a right joystick. You just do a right joystick in the middle of the air, and you get the points for it.
Jeez.
I never did all that to get the leech points, so I don't get in the later elevators. I don't go for the purse. I just go straight up.
Jeez.
And then I run across. So I want to go when there's a short spring, because it will give me. It's hard to explain without having a picture, but
that's fine.
When the springs come out, if you watch the King of Kong, I drew a diagram of it. There's like long springs. Like if you watch my finger, can you see my finger?
Yeah.
Like comes out of the screen and it lands further into the screen, and some short ones they land shorter into the screen.
Right.
So if you go on, when you're trying to run to the safe, there's a spot where you're right on the left of the ladder that you want to go up to get to the very top. There's like a spot where you can sit, and the springs just miss you. There's a spot where you're safe.
Oh, wow.
So to get to that spot, I run over when there's a short spring, because let's see if the short spring will come and hit earlier in the screen to the left, and then that will give you more room, more of a head start. Because if you don't get a good start to the left, you will get hit by a spring. So you got to get, it's not like it's as critical as when you go up the ladder to get to the top, but you've got to be a little safe going to the left. So I go on a shorter spring, and then when I go up the ladder to the top, I wait for the longer spring, because it's really hard to explain without showing the diagram, but you can get a quicker jump off, because
I can
the longer spring comes out further, so it's going to be further along its path. When you get your run, it's going to be more in front of you, so you won't hit your nose. If you get
it's fast. It's tough. It's you have to really practice that, because that thing goes fast.
Yeah, so it's just more of a I look on the left of this screen when I'm making my decision to go up. But then when you go up, you got to I don't look at the left screen exactly. So my peripheral vision, if another long spring comes,
right,
that's dangerous, because it could clip your heel.
Right.
So I retreat. If I notice it looks like I just got so used to how much, when I look at my peripheral vision, I have an idea of when that spring's too close to me,
Mhm.
in his path, so I know I might be up the ladder even like a couple steps,
You go back
and I
down.
go back. Yeah, so
Wow.
hopefully you don't have to retreat, because and then eventually when you start second guessing yourself, it's like you start going up and down, and you don't want to have that happen where you want to
No.
try to get that big jump and not have that second spring being on your heels. It's obvious when you're going to clear it by a mile. It's
Yeah.
very calming. It's not a calming thing, I guess. It's just when you
Patience.
realize, yeah, it's like you realize it's not going to get you, like, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no pattern. That's random, those things coming out based on the long.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone come up with a
No.
pattern. But one thing we were trying, when I didn't know the spring paths, I didn't recognize those when I was young.
Mhm.
We had tried to go up we'd try to go up the ladder on the same, like, we noticed when we'd make it every once in a while, it'd be like the bonus timer would be at 5,100 or some number.
Mhm.
And then we would try it the next time we got to there on the same bonus number, but it wasn't the same. The spring wasn't always a long spring on the same number.
Wow.
So it is random what number it comes out on. I think it might be dictated by Mario's movements. Like, when you're up there and when you're going back and forth, it might trigger whether a long or short. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if someone who dove into the programming can
Yeah.
see what dictates the long and short springs, if Mario's motions even play into it
Yeah.
or not.
I've always wondered that. Yeah. Always. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Well, cool. Well, I think that's good, Steve. I think we got a lot of data here.
Yeah, we covered all the barrels stuff I
Yeah.
had, rivets, pie factory, and
Yeah.
elevators. Hopefully it all makes sense when you go back
Yeah.
um, to type it up. But if you have questions, please email me or whatever
Sure.
you need, or even another Zoom call at some point if you need any more.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Also, before we go, I still talk to Walter most every week, and wanted to say hi to you. And
All right, yeah,
yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I saw Walter in Iowa like a couple months ago. We had that little musical.
Oh, you
Did
went
you
to
hear about
yeah.
that?
I went to the one in Iowa maybe after you went, like the month after, and saw the movie. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So we
Yeah.
did this little thing. I was flown in there, and there was a screening of Arcades and Love Songs, and afterwards we were doing some songs and interviews and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Yeah,
So,
that was a great movie. It was
yeah,
really, I've known Walter a long time, and there was a side of him I didn't even know about from that movie. So
yeah.
it was
So
pretty awesome.
did you go back to the old arcade days? Is that how were you involved in when you knew Billy Mitchell when he was a teenager, or did you
No,
not? No, okay.
you know, I- I'll be honest with you, Steve.
Yeah.
The reason I'm here and where I've been at in my retro gaming is because of that darn King of Kong movie.
Oh, that got you sucked in. Oh, sorry about that.
I literally saw King of Kong in 2008 and was amazed by it. And then coincidentally that year, the video game conference that I host here in Chicago, the Video Game Summit, that year Walter was going. And so I saw the King of Kong. I saw Walter was going. I'm like, I got to meet Walter.
Yeah,
And the rest is friggin' history. Then I went to Big
that's
Bang. Then I went to all the
that's
different
cool.
trading card awards. And I mean, I have 2 books out I've written. I'm writing my 3rd book. I'm just really involved in the retro gaming community. It's amazing.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. So are
Yeah.
you a writer is that what your gift is,
No,
or no?
I'm an IT. I'm like an EDI manager. I do IT stuff.
Okay.
But gaming's always been a hobby since I was a little kid. And then just all the information I picked up over the years between all the people I've met in the gaming industry, I just had all this knowledge. I'm like, I gotta, write stuff about this. I gotta interview people. I gotta,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
cool.
it's really kept me busy, and it's and writing for Old School Gamer magazine's been great. It's been my 8th year now, so yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So
it's pretty
yeah,
good.
I was in Chicago like were you born and raised there?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're a big Bears fan?
Nah, yeah. They're about to move, I think, to Indiana.
Are they? Okay. But
Something
there
like
was the year that I was there when the Seattle Seahawks were in town in the playoffs, and there was
Oh,
I don't know, this must have been like 2011. The quarterback was that guy everyone on the Bears, everyone kind of hated him, but
oh boy, we've had so many quarterbacks since then.
yeah,
Yeah, I
there were
have to look back.
quarterbacks left and right. This was a guy that had all the talent in the world, but I think he was a jackass, like people in the
I can
NFL.
vision who that is. Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was
Yeah,
good. But it was just like kind of reminded me of Aaron Rodgers nowadays.
like a
Just kind
hothead.
of just kind of a little hothead. And,
Yeah.
but I was there, and some guy who owned it had it was hardware. It looked like a music store had the word hardware in it. Can you think of something around Chicago?
Logan's Hardware. Logan Hardware.
Logan's Hardware. Do you
Yeah.
remember Did you remember me being there or not? Or because I was there a few
You
years
were
after King of Kong.
you were there. I was there. You were actually playing a game on the
Yeah.
big jumbotron.
That's where I was in town. That was the
Yeah.
year that the Seahawks were in town
Ah,
for the playoffs, and I just reached out on Facebook and I said, anyone have an extra ticket? And some Chicago person, I paid the guy for the ticket, but
oh, you got a ticket. Nice, nice.
I got a ticket. But my feet were freezing cold. It was probably like 10 degrees outside. I was not equipped for that. Yeah.
Another reason we're excited to get out of Chicago very soon. So the weather here is horrible in the winter. Yeah, I have a video. I brought my video camera when you were there. I have a video of you, and entering in and high-fiving everyone, and
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
yeah. No, I've really kept up with like the community, and I talk to Billy all the time. It was tough when he was going through all that lawsuit stuff. I sort of stayed neutral and I stayed out of it, but we still talk, and it's just a great community. And my next book is on Smash TV, the arcade game. I'm a big fan of Smash TV, so I'm gonna
All right.
interview all the guys from Midway, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So
Well, thanks for supporting the classics. That's good.
I love it. I love it. And thanks for your time today, Steve. And if I need anything else, I'll email you or contact you.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
Yeah.
Say hello to Walter for me too.
I will. We'll see you
Right.
soon. Yep.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.